Hi, I'm Shannon with Trillium Living. Thanks for joining me today. I'm going to be doing an update to a window box. Earlier this spring, my husband Jimmy installed some window boxes on the side of our garage, and they turned out great. They turned out beautiful, and we had a beautiful display of impatiens and begonias. And when we did the window box project, I knew that over the course of the year I wanted to do like a fall update with some fall decorations and even some Christmas decorations. And during the summer I thought, oh, this is so beautiful. How am I ever going to take these plants out of here? Well, we had a mama doe come through and absolutely eat this back to the soil. So that made it very easy for me to want to do this update. So that happened about 3 weeks ago. You can see that the plants did come back. They grew back a little bit. But at the time, the fall plants weren't in the garden center, so I couldn't do an update yet. So so I'm ready to do the update. It's early September when I'm filming this. So the garden centers are full of beautiful fall blooming flowers. So I'm ready to go. So let me show you what I picked out. And we're going to do some chrysanthemums or fall mums. And I chose yellow because this window box is about 20 feet from our patio, and I can see this from inside the house, and yellow just is really bright and cheery, so I'll be able to see it from a distance. And I wanted to point out that the way the buds are on these, the way they're just starting to turn color and just starting to open, is the perfect stage. I don't buy mums when they're in full bloom because they only will last a few weeks. When you buy them when they're just starting to open like this, you will get color and flowers for 6 to 8 weeks. So I can expect to have these blooms up until mid to late October. So that'll be beautiful. And then one of my favorite plants are pansies. And pansies love cold temperatures. So a lot of the garden centers bring them back out in the fall because they do great in the cool. So I'm going to be planting those. This is a variety called Delta Premium Deep Blue. So I thought the purple and the yellow with the mums would look great together. And then I also have a flowering, actually it's an ornamental kale, and it's called Komomi Red. So this center, as the temperatures in the nights get colder, the centerpiece will turn red and it'll be beautiful. And then I'm going to accent it with some real pumpkins. And you could use squash, pumpkins, anything that you want to just put right in your window box to make it look fall and ornamental. And then I've got some deer spray that I'm going to spray on top of this so that I don't have to worry about the deer eating this after I get it all done. So why don't we just jump in? I'm going to put my gardening gloves on. And what we're going to do is we're going to keep the vinca vine and the spikes in this window box because those look great. They're fine. We don't have to worry about them. The deer didn't eat them, and they look beautiful. So what we're going to do, all you have to do is take your trowel and go in and just kind of pump your trowel right around the roots there and loosen up the plants, and you can just pop them right out. And I went ahead and did some of these and just pull them. And if they don't come out pretty, don't worry about it. We had some rain here, so we're some of this is really, really wet. So I may not be able to get all the soil out, and that is okay. And you can if you have a compost pit, you can compost this. Or you can just throw these away, whatever you prefer. Some of them might give you a little trouble, but just take that trowel and go in there and just yank them out. And then I just clean up any leaves. You can see some of the leaves are already coming down on the trees here. And we'll just pull all that out. And once you start loosening it, they actually come out really easily, just like that. And I'm just going to beat some of that soil off the roots, and we're down to our last impatiens. So that was really easy. Then I'm just going to go back here. You can see there's a few dead leaves. Pull those out, kind of clean it up nice, and then just kind of rake the soil so it's a little bit even. And We don't use real soil in containers. This is like an artificial mix that you can find at any garden center or online. It's designed specifically for containers. So if you need to add any soil, that's what you would add. So I'm going to go over, and probably what I'm going to do to design this, I'm probably going to put 3 or 4 mums in here. Actually, I think I'm going to put my kale in the middle, and maybe do my mums like that, and then fill in with some of the pansies. So what I'll do is I'll show you how to do that. I'll start with a couple. The best way to get these out of the container is just to really kind of press around the edges of the pot, and they pop out just like that. So I'm going to make a nice big hole here with my trowel. And you might still have some roots in there from all your other plants. And then you can just kind of break up the roots a little bit. That'll help that kale start to grow in the new soil. And I planted him on an angle so that I'll be able to see that bright red center when he starts to grow. And then let me show you how we're going to plant. Do the same thing with a mum. Just squeeze that pot really well, and then tip it over, and it'll come out just like that. Same thing. I want to break up. Actually, I think I'm going to just tear off the bottom parts of the roots, because what that'll do, that breaks that root bound part there, and that'll help that plant grow right into the soil there. We've got some tight roots growing there, but I'm going to get a little spot right there, and I'll add some new soil. And I'll put some pansies and tuck those in there. What I'll do is I'll finish this up, get it all cleaned up, and we'll come back and show you the finished product. I got everything planted up. I think it looks amazing. I love the way the pansies and the mums and the kale all came together with the pumpkins tucked in there, and the existing vinca vine and the spikes look great, like it's always been there. So I'm really pleased. I'm going to spray the deer repellent on there, and I think we're good to go for the entire fall. I wanted to also mention that these principles are not just for window boxes, but you can apply this to any container that you might have on your front porch, your patio, a hanging basket, or even a flower bed that you have in the ground. You can update all of those for fall. You can do all kinds of creative things by adding even squash, or going to your local craft store and using your creativity, adding all kinds of neat fall accents. I'm going to put links in the description to the original video of this window box project when we added it in the spring, as well as some pictures of how it looked in the summer before the deer got it, as well as an article that we have about taking care of mums and how to make them last all fall. Thank you so much for watching. We so appreciate it.